Located on a small desert peninsula extending north from the Great Arabian Peninsula, it has been sparsely populated since prehistoric times but has been continuously present. After the rise of Islam, the region came under the rule of Islam's caliphate. It was then ruled by many local and foreign dynasties before falling under the rule of the Thani dynasty, Thānī, in the 19th century. 1. The entire country is smaller than Connecticut. Slightly smaller than the U.S. state of Connecticut, the Qatar Peninsula is approximately 160 kilometers north-south and 80 kilometers east-west, and roughly rectangular. Connecticut is 14.357 square kilometers and Qatar is 11.571 square kilometers. 2. Men outnumber women 3 to 1. Qatar has the lowest proportion of women in the world, with only 1 in 4 in the country, 25.04%. This difference is due to Qatar's population growth in recent years, from just 615,000 in 2001 to over 3 million today. This growth has been fueled by mostly young male migrants who flock to Qatar for job opportunities. Only 15% of the country's inhabitants are Qatari nationals. 3. Doha is one of the safest cities in the world. Qatar's capital, Doha, is consistently ranked as one of the safest cities in the world when it comes to crime. According to the Numbeo database's 2022 City Crime Index, Doha is the second safest city in the world after Abu Dhabi and the United Arab Emirates of San Sebastian, Spain. Qatar has a low crime rate. Pickpocketing, bag snatching, and other petty crimes are rare but can happen. Keep an eye on your belongings, especially in crowded places, he says Smart Traveler. 4. Qatar is not a free country. According to his 2022 report for Freedom House, Qatar has a freedom score of 25 to 100 or not free, the same as in 2021. Freedom House is a U.S. government-funded non-profit organization founded in 1941. Through its annual report, Freedom in the World, it assesses people's access to political rights and civil liberties in 210 countries and territories. Qatar became an independent state in 1971 and has been ruled ever since by the Emir, a descendant of the Thānī family. Prior to that, Qatar had been a British protectorate since 1916. The Emir is the monarch, head of state, commander-in-chief of the armed forces, and guarantor of the constitution. 5. Home to one of the world's largest media organizations. Al Jazeera Media Network is based in Qatar and in over 140 countries, reaches over 270 million homes. Al Jazeera Arabic was started in 1996 and Al Jazeera English was started in 2006. According to Reporters Without Borders, RSF, in Qatar covering domestic political issues remains a real challenge for journalists. Al Jazeera describes itself as an independent news organization funded in part by the Qatari government. Each subsidiary in the Al Jazeera Media Network follows the same principles and values that inspire it to be challenging and bold, and to provide a voice for the voiceless in some of the world's most unreported places, the organization said. 6. Have a lot of money to inject. Qatar is one of the wealthiest nations in the world and has spent a lot of money on the World Cup, with an estimated $330 billion surpassing hers. According to the World Bank, Qatar is the fourth richest country in the world after Luxembourg, Singapore, and Ireland, and her GDP per capita (PPP) is $93,521 US, international dollars. The international dollar buys as many goods and services in that country as the US dollar buys in the United States, explains the World Bank. Qatar owes much of its wealth to its natural resources, with the discovery of oil in 1939 and natural gas 30 years later. In 2020, Qatar was the world's second largest exporter of liquefied natural gas, LNG, and the 16th largest exporter of crude oil, according to the Observatory of Economic Complexity, OEC. Qatar also has the world's longest oil wells at over 12 kilometers. 7. Qatar is the first Arab country to host the 2022 FIFA World Cup. One of his most exciting events in football is the FIFA World Cup. Countries around the world are looking to become the next host, and in 2022 Qatar will become the first Arab country to manage this major sporting event. Not only that, it is the smallest country ever held and the only one to be held in the winter. It's also his first ever CO2 neutral World Championship. Qatar has fully sponsored the event and promises it will be a great World Cup when the time comes. 8. Hamad International Airport is the best airport in the world. Here in Qatar, we are very competitive and we love to be winners. That's why we're thrilled to host the world's best airports at the 2021 Skytrax World Airport Awards. If you've traveled the HIA, you'll know why it's so prized for its smooth ride, from the stunning public art. It is also home to West Asia's longest runway at 15,912 feet and the 6th longest runway in the world. 9. Qatar Airways is the best airline in the world. Qatar is highly competitive and the national airline Qatar Airways was named Airline of the Year at his 2021 Skytrax Awards, making him the first airline to win the prestigious gong 6 times. Rice Field. Qatar Airways is also one of the few airlines to serve all 7 continents, and once operated the world's longest scheduled flight between Doha and Auckland at 16 hours and 30 minutes. 10. Only 15% of the country is Qatari. Qatar is definitely an attractive country for expats who come here for its great climate, laid-back lifestyle, and, of course, tax-free paychecks. According to Visit Qatar, more than 2 million expats currently live in Qatar, which is Qatar's allure.